What's up, y'all boy? That's your boy Marlo. Make sure y'all boy follow me on Instagram. Y'all already know, Sticks TV. That's my TV guy right, y'all. So let's get this thing started. Y'all already know we got.
Granny told me get a job, get the dope up out the yard. So I hit the boulevard and post up with a
What's up, Sticks TV gang? We got 200 the General coming straight out of West Dashley, the Ardmore Sherwood Forest neighborhood to be exact. Alright, now 200 was one of the frontier rappers coming out of that West Cash era. Growing up as a teen, 200 would become a natural born leader due to circumstances as an adolescent and a preteen. 200 would spend a lot of his early years living with his parents on South Island, watching the older guys make money. After 200's father had passed away, 200's uncle would step up to the plate and tell him stories about the old times, the civil rights movement, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War in Charleston. Knowing the generation before him went through those trying times, it would humble 200 at an early age. So by the time his mom passed away, he would move to West Ashley with his grandma. Now, the reason 200 always talked about his grandma in most of his songs was because she was a strong woman from the Green Pond community in Walterboro, South Carolina. She was a part of that Geechee Gala culture during the 1920s and the 1930s Depression, when most of the black families owned farmland and communities. 200's grandma, Miss G, had a very loving but strict father who was a businessman. He would work in the fields all day with his family. Then one day, Miss G would build the courage and move to Charleston, South Carolina on her own. She would have 7 boys and 1 girl and was a very strong woman because she kept them all together. Fast forward, 200 would be in his mid-teens and 2 of his uncles would pass away and 2 more of his uncles would go to jail for a very long time. So in that song, Better Ways to Get Paid, when 200 said he got 3 uncles dead and 2 in jail, he was really referring to his dad being dead, 2 of his uncles being dead, and 2 of his uncles being in jail. As time flew by, 200 would notice that everything his uncles used to preach to him was correct. The older he got, the more things he needed and wanted, and his grandma just couldn't provide those things anymore. So in a very humble way, 200 would hit the boulevard to make some cash. 200 would hit the boulevard at a time where every neighborhood and subdivision in West Ashley had minor beefs and disagreements going on. You may kind of compare it to any city that has a west side and east side type of beef due to its strategic location. Only difference is there is no west side and east side inside West Ashley, just treacherous apartment complexes and Charleston-style neighborhoods placed randomly throughout the west of the Ashley. On most occasions, people would meet up at bars or clubs and street brawls would take place. Being that 200 was a very humble but honorable guy to the whole West Ashley, he would continue to get money and ignore the BS that was going on. After the death of his parents and his uncles and 2 of his uncles going to jail, 200 would have a lot of pain built up when he dropped one of the hardest pain-filled classics inside Charleston history. It was called A Better Way to Get Paid. On YouTube, before the song Better Ways to Get Paid could actually blow up, 200 would go to jail back to back for 4 different homicides, where the news tried to make him look like a bad guy, but he was acquitted all 4 different times. In between of being falsely accused of 4 different homicides, 200 would have kids and would always put his kids before any and everything. When 200 was finally home for good, around that 2012 and 2013 period, 200 would be considered a general. 200 would begin to take the music serious when he dropped Bands and Bodies inside 20D's studio. That album would do numbers. Then one day, a West Ashley rapper named C. Milli would link 200 with cameraman Vegas, who owned Camera Junkies, Fast Cash from The Gardens, G Code from Maryville, and they would all collaborate and drop one of Charleston's hardest classics called Dumbing Through the Cash Flow. That would be Charleston's hardest hit for many months to come. By 2014, 200 would collaborate with C. Milli and his little brother Rag-G, and they would drop Money is the motive. By the rappers in the West Ashley area collaborating and dropping fire hits, that would cause most beefs and feuds in West Ashley to die down. Police was angry because the crime rate had decreased. Many times the police would harass guys in West Ashley and ask questions on why everyone was getting along so much. The music was so fire that it brought everyone on the land together, because when a bunch of brothers get together these days, the world wants it to be a negative, but Two Hunnit and C Milli and everybody used to throw cookouts in West Ashley for the Geechee Gala children. And the food was free and everything was free. C Milli would link another artist named Vt Baby with Two Hunnit. Vt Baby and Two Hunnit would drop Spaceships. Spaceships would be one of the first visuals in a small town like Charleston to hit over 1 million views. Chief on the beat was actually the fire beat producer for that song. Two Hunnit would only get to enjoy a few months of Spaceships being at the top when he would pass away in his sleep. A real nigga. Two Hunnit had a little brother by the name of Rag-G, and when Two Hunnit passed away, Rag-G would be the guy to continue to push 200's legacy. And coming very soon, Rag-G will be dropping that Bands and Bodies #2. You see what I'm saying? And right now, Rag-G is networking in different cities right about now. So yeah, tap in with your boy Rag-G. You see what I'm saying? His YouTube channel is Rag Riches. All right, now basically C Milli would be that guy, the rapper who, when the West Cash era was first started, he would be the guy to connect all the other rappers in West Ashley together to even make the fire music. You see what I'm saying? And C Milli is now the manager of Long Money 4. You see what I'm saying? Shit, C Milli also was the guy who hooked Vt and Two Hunnit together. You see what I'm saying? And if you go and see Milli page, you will also see that he has merch. You see what I'm saying? He sells merch. He has some of the best merch in Charleston right now. All right, now G Code Ream is still out here doing his thing. You know, I don't know if he got a mixtape or album coming. You feel what I'm saying? But he was a very talented rapper coming out of that West Cash era too. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you follow G Code Ream on Instagram too. Right now, Vt would be a rapper since about 2006, 2005. He played an important scene to the Charleston rap scene too. You see what I'm saying? And I got a story on him coming soon too. You feel me? But make sure y'all boy follow Vt on Instagram, man, at VT_fresh_prince.